Well, it's been a sad day. I got sad news with my morning coffee that Quincy Jones has left us, and the world is not as cool as it was the day before. But there's a lot to celebrate, and I just want to just briefly talk about my brief experiences with Quincy, because they were brief. I only worked with Quincy when I was working with Michael on Thriller. And even at that, one of those sessions, for Billie Jean, it was just Matt Forger and I in Studio B, because Quincy and Michael were working on that E.T. record, as I talk about in the Billie Jean video. But I was there for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 sessions altogether for Thriller, because I also worked on Want to Be Starting Something and Beat It. But being there at Westlake, the place was just full of all the A-list musicians in LA. It was like the NAMM show practically. There were so many top musicians, all the guys from Toto and Greg Fillinganes and just a zillion musicians wandering around, the cream of the crop. And I got the worst case of imposter syndrome I ever had, even though by that time I'd been working with Stevie for 3-4 years. I'd been on the road with Michael and whatnot. But it was just, at Westlake with all these top guys, John Robinson and all, it's like, oh my God. But Quincy made everybody relax because he was so warm. Oprah gave a tribute to him today that was really nice, because she said he had a way of making you feel like you were the most important person in the world when he was talking to you. And that's true. And he did that for everybody. And I was, who was I? I was just, nobody had ever heard of me. But I had heard of him, and I was delighted to be there. And I really enjoyed it. And he had a way of just making everything laid back. That nobody was uptight, and it was, everybody's taking it completely seriously, because this was the follow-up to Off the Wall, which had set all kinds of records. Nobody knew that Thriller was going to be as big as it wound up being, and we didn't even know it was going to be called Thriller at that time. But Quincy had a way of just making it relaxed, but focused, and never lost sight of being fun. The sessions were fun, and it was a short time. And Quincy was an important figure to me, because he was basically the model I used for my own solo records. He and Stevie, because what I wanted to do with my solo records, because I don't sing, is I wanted to do commercial pop R&B record that had guest vocalists, and the producer is the artist. And when I pitched that to Dick Griffey, I didn't have to say that much. All I had to say is it'd be like a Quincy Jones record, and Dick Griffey got it right away. Because it's a producer's record. The producer is the artist, and the vocalists are guests, just like the musicians would be. So Quincy was my model for that, and Stevie as well, because my other gimmick was playing all the instruments myself, which I thought was important to make up for the fact that I didn't sing, that I'm the artist, I'm going to write the music, arrange it, and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, Quincy was a model for that, and he was also a model because I'm watching him in the short time that I'm there, and watching how he worked. And Stevie, between the two of them, is how I learned how to produce records, just watching them. Not that I ever came near their level of excellence, but so the time that I had with Quincy was short, but it was really pleasant. the atmosphere was always warm and congenial. And this is the story I've been remembering most all day. This is like 8 or 9 months after those brief few afternoons that I worked on Thriller. My wife and I we got invited to a film premiere in Westwood, and I don't even remember what the film was. But we're standing there in the lobby, and I see Quincy Jones on the other side of the lobby, and I say, come on, I'm going to introduce you to Quincy Jones. And as we're crossing the lobby, I'm rehearsing in my head how I'm going to remind him of who I am. I'm going to say, Quincy, remember me. I'm Bill Wolfer. I played synthesizers on some of the songs on Thriller. So I'm rehearsing that in my head, and all I get out was I say, Quincy, and he goes, Bill, how the hell are you? And gives me a big hug. I couldn't believe that he remembered me. I wouldn't have remembered me. But that's the kind of guy he was. That even in that short time that we had in the studio together, where there was a million other keyboard players and synthesizers coming and going and everything, he remembered me. And this was 10 months after that. And it was just so amazing to me. But that's the kind of guy he was. He beyond the musical talent, which was extraordinary, he was just on a people level. He loved people, and he was interested in people, and he got along with people. And I think that's a lot of what made him successful as a producer, is his ability to relate to people. It wasn't just all music and technique. He was a beautiful person, just absolutely beautiful. And I'm so happy that I got a chance to be just a little tiny part of his world for a minute. And I'll treasure the memories and the time that I spent with him forever. And I just love everything he was about. When you're working with Quincy, nobody said it, it was unsaid, but it was just understood that you're going to give everything you've got. That the goal here is excellence, and we need more of that these days, because there was no half-stepping with Quincy, but nobody was cracking a whip either. Everybody just wanted to do the best they could. And with Quincy, you got the best songs, you got the best arrangers, you got the best musicians, best studio, best engineers, and you listen to those records of his, and the sound quality is incredible. The production is incredible. They're impeccable, and they stand the test of time. And he was one of my heroes. And I'm sorry that he's gone, but he's never going to go, because those records are here forever. So that's my Quincy story. Thanks for listening. I'll see you.